I don't know that I have ever filmed a more powerful new moon video than this, honestly. If there's one thing that you want to do on this new moon video is listen to the first half of this video. I'm about to tell you some really big news, but also I am about to like really freaking blow your mind with this one. And it's my birthday, so you definitely want to watch the beginning of this one. We have a Libra new moon that is happening on October 21st. Literally right at the end of Libra season, but this is why this Libra new moon is important, because even though the sun and the moon will be moving out of Libra shortly after this Libra new moon, we will still have Venus in Libra, okay? So the Libra vibes are not over yet, and I am honestly just so freaking in love. Like, every year around this time, the last few years, I feel like I am just so proud to be a Libra. Like, I am just like, gosh, I am freaking amazing. Like, I'm just so charming. Like, what? Anyway, so you want to watch this, and I have really, really, really important info for you guys. A very important announcement. It feels like my life's work over the last several years since 2019 has been leading to this moment, and it's such a full circle moment. I really would love to know, have you been here since 2019? If you haven't, it's okay. It's all good. We love you anyway. Like we're just glad that you're here, okay? So, like, you belong. But I am opening up a membership, and if you've been here since 2019, this is going to like you're about to be like, what, Tawny? Like, what? Okay, I am opening up a membership, and I am going to name it Soulology. I know if you've been around since 2019 and you were in my very first membership ever called Soulology, you're about to be like, what? Like, are you crazy? Like, what? Wait, what just happened, Tawny? But this is gonna be similar but different, okay? So my very first membership ever was created on Patreon, and it was called Soulology. And I basically used that to lead people through the self-development spiritual process of really understanding self-love and a lot of these spiritual concepts that have changed my life. Understanding the world spiritually, understanding what spirituality even was. It was basically like a beginner's spirituality course, and it helped a lot of people. Like, I still have people in my world today that were in that very first like membership course that I ever did that still are clients, that still do all of the things that I do. So this particular new and improved Soulology, okay, is more me integrating everything that I have learned since then and giving it to you, okay? So, and if you're wondering, like, what does this have to do with astrology? It has to do with pretty much a living journey with me through astrology and the energetic lessons and codes of this journey. Okay, so it's like a spiritual journey through astrology, how I view astrology and what astrology teaches me on a very spiritual level. Because if you watch my videos, you know that I talk way more than just astrology. This is not just an astrology channel where if you get readings with me, you know that I don't just read your chart and talk about astrology. Like, we go over the energetic codes, the energetic lessons, the energetic frequencies that these different signs, planets, astrological placements really like root down to. Because I mean, I'm a Mars in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, like everything is about getting down to the root of something, to its basic form for me. Or maybe it's my Venus and Jupiter in Virgo, I don't know. But whatever it is, it's about getting down to the, like, really getting down to the nitty gritty. And so this Soulology journey, this Soulology membership, I've been really like, how can I incorporate everything that I do into like one? Like, not leave astrology out, but also not leave all the other stuff out. Like, how this has been a dilemma for me for a long time, because I've known for a while now, if you've been here for the last several years, you know that I don't want to be just an astrologer. I'm not just an astrologer. Astrology is way more, it's way deeper to me than just like, oh, you're an Aries sun, so you're like, yeah. That's not me, okay? My Soulology membership is going to be about a journey through astrology, but way more. Like, it's like astrology plus the energetic codes and lessons. And astrology goes into everything, right? It goes into identity, it goes into career, purpose, life, like relationships, right? Like it goes into money, like everything. So we're going to talk about everything. This isn't just like, oh, Taurus means this, and yeah. Like, this is literally fucking everything. Everything that I know I'm going to be giving to you guys in this membership. And we're I mean, yes, there will be an astrology aspect to it. Like we will be breaking down things from the lens of astrology, but more so it's going to be about the energetic codes behind these signs. It's like what I do in my videos, but like a lot deeper, a lot deeper and a lot more and more of a community behind it. Like astrology meets self-development and energetics. Like that is basically what this experience is. Like if you want to live your life in harmony, but also have like these really deep, profound moments of change and use literally what's happening to its like greatest extent, but also like crack open new layers, like how to use these energies and spot these energies, not only like in you, but in your life, but also like use them in a way that is healing and that actually like really helps your life and helps you do something. Like that is what this is about. I look at and I experience astrology as archetypes a lot. And so we'll be going like really deep into these archetypes, but even more than that, the lessons that and the codes that these different astrological archetypes, astrological signs, planets, etc. bring up and how to move through them. So in this membership, you know, you're going to be getting voice lessons. You'll be getting like live calls, Q&As, like just all kinds of things, you know, like you're going to be getting access to all kinds of things. We're going deep. This is way more than just astrology. So if whether you're just an astrology enthusiast and want to learn about astrology on like a way deeper level and apply it to life, this is great for you. If you're not that into astrology or like you're kind of into it, but you're actually way more into like working on yourself and like, you know, just freaking living your best life and like living the life that feels most aligned to you, most authentic to you and what you desire, this is freaking great for you too. So whether it is one or the other, this is going to have all of it. So it's not, yes, there will be astrology in it, but it's not just astrology and you don't have to know astrology to be in it. So it's really just about like using the seasons of life to their fullest extent and learning and growing through these different lessons and codes, because you guys, I have so many freaking codes that I crack that I'm like, people need to know this. Like people really need to know this. Like it would change their lives. Like if you just knew how many things, how many codes I crack, how many like really deep philosophical like tangents I get on that can really help you question things in a way that just completely shatter reality for you. Like it's insane. But I always, there's usually an astrology element to it because of what's going on or where the planets are or what, you know what I mean? And I always like tie it back to that. And so if that is something that you would be interested in, I am starting to take signups for it down below. Look in my description. If it is something that you are feeling like, fuck yes, I want to do this, sign me up. I will also be likely doing more. So there may be like a 2 different membership option. I don't know yet. Like this is still kind of ongoing, but this is the start of it. I felt like, okay, it's literally my birthday this weekend. I need to start this. Like it feels like I'm ready to finally do this. The codes that I have been getting for Libra, the sign of Libra lately have just been blowing my mind. And I've had this idea for a little bit now. I've been toying with it and it's just like, these things need to be shared with people. Like I share them with like you, like if you get readings with me and stuff, like very personally, and like I may share some of the things, but like it's like more people need to be in on this, because I really believe that these conversations that I'm having in one-on-one spaces with clients or even just internally with myself in my own time, I'm like, more people need to know about this stuff. Like it could literally change everything. And so that is why I'm creating this. We're going through everything. Like nothing is off limits in this membership, whether it's, you know, like I said, money, career, purpose, astrology, like it's all going to just, it's part of it. It's soulology, okay? It is soulology, because astrology really is just showing us who we are as a freaking soul and showing us what we're doing here as souls and showing us patterns as souls, because that is how I view astrology. And like, but it's deeper than that. Like I don't always need to know what your chart looks like to know how to help you either. It's like I don't care about the chart at that point, right? So it's like blending all of it, blending all of my gifts, all of my talents, all of the things that I've learned over the last several years and that I'm continuing to learn in one place. And that's that. So if that sounds like a F yes to you, the link is down below. We're going to go ahead and get into it. And we're going to talk about this Libra new moon. I'm so excited to talk about this. This Libra new moon is like, I've had so many things, like so many freaking codes drop in for this Libra energy. So let's effing go. Libra new moon, let go. Okay, so as you can see, we have the Libra new moon here. the moon and the sun are together in Libra. So yes, it is just a new moon, which means that it's a new beginning. You know, I just realized Chiron is opposite this new moon as it's been building. I don't think I truly realized that before. And that's starting to make so much sense. This has been a very triggering week. I don't know about you. Pluto going direct, like Chiron opposite the new moon, apparently now. Like, it has been a triggering week. Like, I have just seen so many triggers not only come up in like clients, but like even myself. I'm like, holy crap. It's been a lot of triggers this week that I've had to work through and get to the bottom of. So anyway, so we have the Libra new moon. And when we're talking about Libra as a sign, okay, we're talking about the sun being in its fall, which is why Libra is the cardinal air sign that starts fall, because the sun is in its fall. The way that I picture this is like the sun, right? Like a white circle, half of it's black, okay? So it's going, it's like, you know, the underworld all of a sudden is now known. Libra is like the introduction into the underworld. Libra is like the introduction into the shadow of the sun. So the ego starts to see, oh, there's a lot more going on under here than what I've been focused on, than what I've been putting my attention to, like, than what I've been seeing with my ego and with my attention, you know, like, it's like, there's something else. There's another side of the coin here that I'm not seeing. So in Libra season, being a cardinal air sign ruled by Venus, I'm going to kind of skip over the like really basic shit about Libra, and go to more the deeper codes about Libra, because I think a lot of people think of Libra as this kind of superficial relationship addict, people pleaser, that it's just like all about relationships. And like, yes, that is one of the very, very many things about Libra, but here's the actual truth of it. In Libra, in the sign of Libra, in Libra season, everything is a mirror. Especially if you're a Libra rising, especially if you have a Libra sun, like everything is going, and especially at this time of year, everything is a mirror in your life and everything is a relationship. The way that I describe Libra is like being in a fun house of mirrors, and you know how you can like look around and see different sides of yourself that you can't normally see. Like you can see like the corner, you can see like the back, you can see like the side, you can see like, you know, it's like you're getting different perspectives of yourself through Libra season. But those different perspectives you may not be aware of them if you don't know where to look for them. Those different perspectives are found through your life, because everything is a relationship. The relationship with yourself, the relationship with your body, the relationship you have with self-love, the relationship you have with your partner, the relationship you have with your job, with your boss, with your life, with life in general, with your spirituality, your spiritual beliefs. Everything is a relationship. And all of those things are also mirrors, right? Like the way this is why I keep this ball right here, because I feel like this ball represents so much. I feel like these disco balls, these like mirror balls, like they represent so much, right? It's like being on the internet, and so many people, like when we get on the internet and we get on like our social medias, we're only seeing like maybe this part of the ball, right? Like we're seeing like this part of the ball. And we think this is all true because this is all what we're seeing. We're seeing it all from this perspective, right? But we fail to realize that there's a whole nother ball here. Like there's like so many other sides, so many other different ways to look at it. You know, we get on social media and we focus on one of those mirrors in the funhouse of mirrors, one of those mirrors that's showing one of the perspectives of us, like the back of our head, you know, and we're like, oh my God, is that what I look like? That's the back of my head. Does the back of my head look that crazy? Like, is my hair that messy? Like, you know, and we focus on that. We think that's the only perspective. That's the only truth. Like, have you ever like taken pictures of yourself or looked at yourself in the mirror, or, you know, seen certain sides of yourself that you're like really comfortable with, where you're like, oh, I really like that perspective of me, like the side angle, or like, you know, the angle from here, if you go slightly here, like slightly up here, like I like that perspective of me a little bit better, you know what I mean? But then if you're like right under here, you know what I mean? Like if you're right underneath the view and you're like looking down, like, you know what I mean? That perspective may not be as flattering for some people, you know? So I know it's not for me. So it's all about perspective with Libra. How are you looking at yourself? This is where the sun is in full. The sun is our eye. The sun is our focus. What are we focusing on? Where's our focus going? What are we not seeing? What's the blind spot, right? So that is the best, like one of the many ways I can explain Libra. But the thing is that when we're dealing with a reflection, whether it be from other people reflecting something back to us, or a job or a situation, like a lot of the times what we do in life is we look in the mirror and then we get mad at the mirror for what we see. And we do this in life. We look at our lives and we get mad at our lives, mad at other people. And we say, they're not doing enough. They're not doing what I want them to do. They're not doing what I want them to do. They don't treat me how I want them to treat me. They're not making me feel important. And what we're doing is we're looking at the mirror, life, and other people, and expecting the reflection to change for us to change. Like when you look at a mirror, your reflection follows you, not the other way around, you know? But oftentimes we look at life and we say, I need this person to change and that person to change and the job to change and my circumstances to change before I change. I am withholding my change and my personal power to change my life because I need all these other things to be changing first. Like I need all of this to be, I need the reflection of the mirror to look how I want it to look before I do anything. And that's what we do so often. We wait on others and we blame the mirror. We blame our reflection. It's like looking in the mirror and being like, I don't like that outfit. But until my reflection changes that outfit, I'm not going to change my outfit. Like seriously, like this is what we do. You know, we are blaming the mirror for what we see, whether it be our jobs, whether it be the people in our lives, whether it be whatever, you know, our relationship with ourselves. Like, and this is like and this is why Libra is relationships, because relationships are mirrors. Relationships show you where you're at with yourself. If you keep finding yourself in really toxic, crappy relationships, how's your relationship with yourself? Why do you feel drawn to that kind of person? What attracts you to that? What are you trying to get? What is so thrilling about that for you? What is so addicting about that for you? Like, do you treat yourself like a buffet? Like, oh, anybody can just come along and have whatever they want from me because I'm allowing it, you know? So when it comes to relationships, what's really happening is Libra, because Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra, remember, and that says something. Even though Saturn's not in Libra right now, it's in Pisces, but Saturn being exalted in the sign of Libra tells us that Libra, and Libra also being opposite of Aries, which is ruled by Mars, the god of war, and Libra being ruled by Venus. Libra is not about no conflict, okay? Libra is not just about peace. That's why Saturn is exalted here. Libra is about the art of opposition, which is also the art of relationships, the art of mirroring. These are like the deeper codes of Libra as a sign. So oftentimes we think, oh, you know, Libra is just like about having no conflict and just like, you know, whatever. And yes, and on the shadow side, yes, that can be the case where sometimes we do slip into, oh, I'm avoiding conflict and whatever, right? And we're going to talk about that. But really, it's about learning to navigate opposition with grace, to navigate it with peace. Venus, ruling the sign of Libra, picks up the ball where Aries drops it. Mars ruling Aries drops it and is very confrontational and edgy and fiery and like just, you know, arrogant and sometimes like too bold and too over the top and too self-focused. Libra picks up the ball and it's like, okay, well, if we're going to have conflict, we're going to do it with class. We're going to look good while we're doing it. Like, we're going to do it with grace. We're going to do this with some brains. We're going to put some brains behind this. Because here's the thing. We avoid conflict a lot of the times because we want peace. And when we do that, we're not thinking, because it's like, okay, well, if it is really peace that we're wanting, but that peace is based on a lie, because we're having to suppress ourselves, we're having to suppress our truth, we're having to suppress our values or part of our identity to keep the peace, then is it really peace? When we avoid a war outside of us, when we avoid the conflict outside of us, we start conflict within us, we create it within. So is that really peace? And that's what Libra shows us. It's like, okay, well, you know, if you avoid something externally, you create it within. If you avoid something within, you create it externally. That's why it's a mirror. It is showing you what we're not dealing with. It is showing us our blind spots. And so something that really has to happen here is in terms of Libra and relationships and our interactions with other people and how we are influenced by others and how they influence us and how we influence our lives, is what has to happen here. Because the only reason that we are that we avoid things to keep the peace is because we are scared that our truth is going to start conflict, right? So something that I've been saying to people, especially like Libra clients lately, is that your truth sets you free and it sets them free. Because really think about this, right? This is Libra. If you are avoiding conflict in your life and you are overly compromising and you are overly worried about how others see you, how others think about you, if they like you, if you're important to them, if you need other people to change or reflect back to you that you matter in some way before you do anything, that is a very transactional relationship, number one. And number two, you're wearing a mask. You're not being the real you. And this happens oftentimes with Libra energy as we get into this like wearing of a mask energy. And we suppress our truth and we suppress sometimes our identity because there is this side of Libra that wants to learn more about itself from others. So sometimes we will compromise and say, okay, well, even though I usually think this, I'm willing to put that aside to explore this perspective, because that is the sun in Libra being in its fall, not needing to be right all the time, not needing to be, egotistical about everything and just saying, okay, I will put this on the back burner for now. I will put my ideas and my desires and my individual whatever on the back burner so I can understand your perspective and so I can explore this relationship and get to know myself more. But here's the thing, our truth is good for everybody, and our truth sets us free and it sets others free. Otherwise, it's a lie. If it doesn't do that, if we can't feel that, if we can't embrace that, then it's a lie. Because then, and then if we're living a lie, then we're wearing a mask. And if we're wearing a mask, then we attract things from that mask. If we aren't living in our truths of our own personal power, of saying, I matter and you matter. If we feel we don't matter, then we start looking at the world outside of us in the mirror to show us that we matter so we can feel like we matter first. Every room that we go in, we're like, do I matter? Am I allowed to be here? Do they like me? But did she just give me a look? How do they feel about me? But do they like me? I can't be who I am until I know if they like me. If that's the world if that's how we're perceiving the world, wondering if we matter all the time. A lot of the times we're so caught up in our own, do I matter? Do I not matter? Do I matter? Do I not matter? That we're missing everything. We're looking at the mirror and asking our reflection if we matter. We're looking at the relationship we're in and we're asking, do I matter? Show me and validate to me that I matter first. We're looking at the job that we have and we're asking, do I matter? Show me and validate to me that I matter. Then I will be what you want me to be, and I will do everything, and I will be all the things. And I will show you how great I am. But first you have to show me that I matter. Do you see how this happens so much with Libra? Because when we feel like we don't matter, we compromise too much. Compromise is not a bad thing. But when we compromise important values, things that make us who we are, identity, things that we know are part of us and that can't be compromised, but we do it anyway. When we repress our truth to keep the peace, we're compromising too much. We lose ourselves to keep the peace, and that's not the real highest frequency of Libra. at all. It's really being on the edge of knowing one's truth, but also being humble enough to say, this may change or this could be totally wrong, and I'm okay with that. It's being on the edge of, I matter, but so do you. Because that's how do you have a relationship otherwise? If you don't think that if you don't think that you matter, and you're with somebody else that you also don't think that you matter to, that's not a relationship at that point, right? That doesn't even meet the very beginning qualifications of what a relationship is. Like, that's not even the foundations of a relationship. And so our truth sets us free and sets everybody else free, because here's why. When we are living a lie, a lot of times, especially if we're living a lie for a while, like more than just like a month, we start making decisions from living that lie. We start doing things and taking action in our lives from living that lie. And that's why sometimes if you're on this awakening journey, this self-development journey, and you've woken up many times, you will wake up from that eventually and be like, wow, I really did a lot there while I was not really feeling like myself, and got myself into a lot of different situations. I really didn't really know if I wanted to be in, and made a lot of decisions there that like, I'm now kind of looking back on with a little bit of a, but it's okay. We forgive ourselves, because that's what this journey is all about, right? So anyway, comment down below if you're still with me. My screen keeps dying. Not that it really matters anyway. You see the Libra new moon. But anyway, if we're going around in our lives wearing a mask, and we are acting from the place of wearing the mask and not being us, we start making a lot of things happen that are also not aligned, because we're not aligned, because like we're not even ourselves. We're wearing a mask. And oftentimes we don't even realize we're wearing a mask. We just know that we don't feel like ourselves, and we know that we feel blocked and shut down and like all of these other things. And so, but most of the people in your life, you don't know if they're there for the mask or if they're there for the true you. And so now they are in your life based on what you've shown them with the mask. And so along with everything else, because the mirror has been reflecting your life, the mirror has now been reflecting the mask that you've been wearing. So this is why it is so important that your truth is the thing that sets you free and everybody else, because it sets them free from the illusion that they have seen you in. The illusion, the mask. Even if they don't stay, even if they decide that you are not aligned for them, it still sets you free. When I make decisions or I make changes to my channel and I get people that unfollow me, unsubscribe, it used to bother me a long time ago. It does not anymore. I'm like, oh, it actually feels great, because you know why? And this is the balance of payoff with Libra. I get more of the people that are aligned with me and less of the people that aren't. I'd rather have low views on a video and it be the ones that are watching it be people that really freaking feel what I'm saying and resonate to it, than people that high views and a lot of people that don't get it and that just aren't aligned. And so I think that with this Libra energy, this is so much about us understanding our truth, which comes from head and heart syncing. The balance of head and heart decisions. Making decisions from knowing thyself, that inner knowing. That is true peace. Feeling clean on the inside because you're not holding anything in, you're not repressing anything. Again, the sun, half light, half dark in Libra. That dark part is like, what have we been holding in and not looking at? Let's bring it to the surface. What is that perspective we're not seeing? What's that blind spot we're not seeing? Where have we been lying to ourselves to try to like show one thing, but like really there's something else going on down here? Where have we been looking at life and from this perspective of like, I don't matter, and needing other people to reflect it back to me constantly and not feeling good enough until I have that? Making decisions from knowing thyself, that is true peace. Making decisions from your truth. Even if it means that people leave, even if it means that people don't understand, even if it means that people don't get it. That is true freedom, because then you give them, you trust their power to decide for themselves, and you trust your truth. And you leave it in their hands to decide if you are for them when you are in your truth and deciding from your truth, rather than taking that away and wearing a mask so they stay. Which is not trusting in their power. And not trusting in really your truth, yourself. So this is what really Libra is, I think, on a higher level. And it's not just peace for the sake of peace. Don't argue and be adults. Like, it's like, how do you really find peace and harmony within, so that your life reflects that back to you, so that the mirror reflects that back to you? Like I said, for a relationship to exist at a very, very basic frequency, there needs to be equality. So you need to matter and they need to matter. But you also need to be different. You can't give up yourself to become them, and they can't give up themselves to become you. You don't just become the relationship. Two half people don't make a whole person. That's not how it works. Two whole people, two equal people in power that matter, that both know they matter. That's where miraculous things happen. But again, we need to know our truth. We need to know thyself. We need to know ourselves. And that we matter, or else we're constantly going to be looking for that in the other person to reflect that back to us. In Libra, the sun in Libra, the ego's kind of lost some of its mojo. And that's why if we're not good with ourselves, we start looking for that other piece of us in others. We start looking for that shadow side of the sun. Like I said, the sun split in the middle, shadow side, light side. We start looking for that shadow side in others in the mirror. We start needing that validation from others. We start needing that we start comparing ourselves and all of these other things. And so in the unhealthy way, Libra seeks that other part of its identity and others in the mirror and other people and other places and in its life. But in the healthy part of Libra, it finds that balance and that truth within, that harmony within. And that is really the true Libran way. I can't expect you to do something for me I haven't done for myself. I can't expect somebody else to come in and save me when I haven't saved myself. I can't expect somebody to come in and see these shadow sides of me if I haven't seen them myself and loved them myself. And that's just something I inherently know as like a Libra that's been doing this work for a long time. So, and this work is so much about that anyway, because like I said, this Libra new moon is opposite Chiron and Aries. About the self, about fighting for the sense of individuality. And Jupiter, this Libra new moon is squaring Jupiter in Cancer by a few degrees as well, which is also creating this like conversation I keep noticing with people lately of like, where are we taking on others' emotions and making them our responsibility? Where do we need to set ourselves free from childhood dynamics, childhood emotions, childhood emotional attachment issues that are coming up around this time? It's like we are setting ourselves free from old triggers and learning the art of relationships through the lens of mirroring, through the lens of owning our own individual power, seeing the other side of ourselves, and integration of these other sides of ourselves in our lives, so we can be in harmony within before we expect harmony without. And that is what this Libra new moon, in my opinion, is about. Let me know down below if you are still here, if that resonated with you, if it was something that you needed to hear. I would love to hear your feedback down below. Oh, comment down below. Classy alien. New one. Classy alien. Comment it down below if you watched until here. If you would like to sign up for my membership, Soulology, see the link down below. I cannot wait. We will be starting in November. So definitely, if it's something that you're interested in, go see that down below. I also am doing some sales for my birthday, so check out the description below for that as well if that's something you're interested in. Check out my free Facebook group as well if you'd like to just keep up with me outside of YouTube, keep up with different posts that I make, things that I'm doing. That's also down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for being here, for supporting my videos, for vibing with me. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and get into what this means for your rising sign. Catch the timestamps down below if you'd like to skip to your sign. I love you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Alrighty, Libra risings, especially for you if you just missed that whole powerful first half of the video. Wow, like that may be like the most powerful Libra discussion I've ever had in my life, so I would just go back and watch that if you want your whole life explained in a nutshell. That was definitely it. I don't even know much else to say for you after that, but this Libra new moon is definitely everything I just said in the first half of the video. It is about you. It is about your identity. It is about, like, where have you been compromising your truth? Where have you been compromising your needs, your values to fit in so many different areas of your life. This is so much more than just relationships. And I talk about that in the beginning. Libra as a sign is so much more than just relationships. Like, this is the art of how your life is mirroring things back to you in so many different ways, whether it be through a partner, whether it be through your career, whether it be through family. How are you in your life? Like, are you in harmony with yourself? Do you feel balanced within? How are you looking at your life? What lens are you looking at yourself and your life through? Where have you not been listening to yourself? Where have you not been embodying and embracing your truth? Making a decision? Where have you been on the fence about your life or about something in your life because of, you know, maybe trying to avoid conflict or keep the peace, but it is actually costing you real peace, you know, internal peace. And so this is so big. This is like a chance for you to start a new chapter with yourself, with your identity, with who you are, with your body. And just watch the first half of this video. Like, you need it. You need it so freaking bad. So watch the first half of this video. Comment down below, sexy Libra rising, if you are still here. I appreciate you guys. Let me know if that resonates. Let me know if the first half of the video resonates. I mean, that whole first half was like a horoscope for you. So let me know down below, and we're going to move on to Scorpio risings. For Scorpio risings, this Libra new moon's happening in your 12th house. Obviously, this is about the house of, like, anything hidden in your life, self-sabotage, anything going on behind the scenes, old cycles, old patterns, old, you know, anything old in your life pretty much, but also anything that's hidden in your life. And so with this, you know, with Libra being here, this is definitely already an introduction into the subconscious, into the things that we cannot see. And so where are you kind of looking at your life from this perspective of, like, needing to let go of some of maybe what you thought things were, or what you wanted to focus on, or where your energy has been going to focus on, like, hey, there's been some things going on underground here that we have not been seeing. There's been some things going on in the basement that we need to look at. And there's been maybe some relationship stuff going on behind the scene. There's been maybe some values that we've been not looking at or repressing, or things that we have been compromising that are important that we can no longer continue to compromise, and they have been leading to some kind of self-undoing, self-unraveling, self-sabotage, you know, something along those lines. So this new moon is kind of a new beginning in balancing out that internal world, that subconscious world, that behind the scenes world, balancing out those habits, addictions, cycles, patterns in some kind of way. Watch the beginning of this video because it was really powerful and I think you'll really, really relate to it. Comment down below sexy Scorpio rising, and we're going to move on to Sagittarius rising. This new moon happening in Libra for Sag risings is in your 11th house. So this is all about other people, friend groups, acquaintances, groups of people, you know, anybody that you kind of share some kind of like-minded, you know, relationship with in some way. Like there's similar interests, there's something that is, you know, gluing these relationships, these groups together in your life. So there's a new beginning happening here of like how you want to go about influencing people or being influenced by people in some kind of way. There's something going on here with like the people that you want to have in your life and what they mirror back to you, what you mirror to them, marketing, audiences, groups, you know, anything to do with friendships and different groups of people that you're involved with. So this Libra new moon is really bringing up this kind of new beginning of harmonizing this area of life in some way, balancing this area of life in some way, and looking at kind of the influence you have on others and how others influence you, the influence you have on the world of certain communities, vice versa, right? It's going to be really kind of the name of the game for you if you're a Sag rising. Comment down below sexy Sag rising. If you missed the beginning, go back and watch it. It's very powerful. And we're going to move on to Capricorn risings. For Capricorn risings, this new moon is happening in your 10th house in the sign of Libra. So this is all about your career and what's going on with your career right now. If you're feeling like it is in harmony with your life and what your career is reflecting back to you and back to your life. And if you're feeling like you are on the right path in terms of your career, it could be showing you another side of your life goals, your career that maybe you hadn't been seeing with this new moon. It's really about coming into harmony, coming into balance with something, integrating something, seeing another side to something, and what this area of life is mirroring back. It's kind of like, you know, the sun in Libra oftentimes is like, okay, we're going to put the ego down for the truth. And what is the truth in this situation? Really, truly watch the beginning, the first half of this video, because that is what I'm not going to keep repeating myself. Like, it is just really good. And I think that's what's going to help you understand, you know, listening to the beginning through the lens of, okay, it's happening in my house of career or long-term goals and my future, I think is just going to land it for you even more beautifully. But yeah. So that is what I'm seeing for you, Capricorn risings. Let me know down below how this all ends up landing. Comment down below sexy Capricorn rising, because you are. Moving on to Aquarius rising. For Aquarius risings, this new moon in Libra is happening in your 9th. This is like a new beginning in terms of your worldly views, how you like your perspective on the world, your perspective on like being involved in things in the world, how the world influences you and how you influence the world, and how the world influences your beliefs and your worldviews and your perspectives, and feel like wanting to come into some kind of more balanced, harmonized energy in terms of this. Now, this could also be bringing up educational pursuits, learning pursuits, travel pursuits, pursuits regarding, you know, foreign countries, or new perspectives regarding those things as well. Watch the beginning, because it definitely goes into Libra a lot more, but this is where it's happening for you. So let me know down below, Aquarius risings, if that resonates. Comment down below, sexy Aquarius rising. Moving on to Pisces rising, this Libra new moon is happening in your 8th house. Definitely to do with finances, relationships with others, and the energetic exchanges, compromises, and actual physical transactional exchanges that happen with relationships with others, and, you know, anybody that you're involved with in terms of finances and energetic transactions in any way. So this is definitely a new moon where it's like some kind of new beginning is being set here in this area of life, how you are influenced by others financially, how you're influenced by your partner financially, what you share with other people, what's not being seen here, what needs to be compromised here, what needs to come into focus here in terms of your truth, but also honoring another's truth financially in a situation. So let me know down below, Pisces rising, if that resonates. If you missed the beginning, that's where all the tea is. So go back and watch that. Comment down below, sexy Pisces rising, because you are. Moving on to Aries risings. For Aries risings, this new moon's happening in your 7th house of your opposite sign of Libra. This is definitely an area of focus. This is definitely bringing in your relationships where you compromise, where you need to compromise, where you've compromised too much. This is a new beginning about embracing your truth and maybe letting down your guard, letting down your normal defenses or your normal need to be right or continue to be seen, and to see others and to see maybe some of the things you haven't been seeing, whether about others or about yourself. This can be a really positive new beginning with the ruler of your 7th here in your 7th, for your relationships, for compromising, for harmonizing this area of life. And I would definitely recommend, as an Aries rising, you watch the first half of the video if you didn't, because that you just definitely need to, as an Aries rising. Comment down below, sexy Aries rising, and we're going to move on to Taurus rising. This Libra new moon happening, if you're a Taurus rising, it's happening in your 6th house. This is definitely about you balancing out, your health, work, day-to-day routines, your lifestyle in some way, seeing another side to something that you've been doing here, getting very truthful and honest with yourself about maybe something that you've been compromising too much of here, or where you need to be more honest about where you are in this area of your life. Could have something to do with your job, it could have something to do with health, it could have something to do with wellness, lifestyle, your day-to-day routines. But either way, it's like you're starting to see that there's a new perspective to be had here. There's something new, there's something being shown from the shadows here for you with this new moon in Libra. It's can actually start a really a new beginning that's more truthful, balanced, and harmonized for you, though. So let me know down below if that resonates, Taurus. We're going to go ahead and move on to Gemini rising. For Gemini rising, this Libra new moon's happening in your 5th house of romance, love, passion, play. So if you're a Gemini rising, this Libra new moon can definitely be a time of kind of, just being more charming, poetic, playful, doing something entertaining that feels like romantic or different. This new moon here is just bringing in a lot more charm, play, and elegance and class into your life. A lot more poetic experiences, a lot more harmonious experiences, especially with love, passion, play, creativity. This could definitely have you thinking more deeply about a side of life that maybe you've been missing out on here with all of that. So let me know how that's going down below, Gemini rising. Comment down below, sexy Gemini risings. And we're going to move on to Cancer risings. For Cancer risings, this Libra new moon's happening in your 4th house. So this is all about your family, your home life, and what's going on in your private life, how that's feeling, and anything that you may have been missing or not seeing or needing to compromise on here could be coming up around this period of time for this new moon in Libra. It's definitely starting this new beginning of really showing us where we have not been seeing something, showing us a blind spot. And it's showing us this so that it can come back into harmony, so that it can be integrated, so that we can balance out our perspective of this area of life. If you missed the beginning, you definitely want to go back and watch it. That's important. But that is what I have to say for you if you're a Cancer rising. Let me know down below if that resonated. Comment down below, sexy Cancer rising. And we are going to move on to my lovely fellow Leo risings. This Libra new moon for us is happening in our 3rd house. So it is really bringing up how we go about our day-to-day lives, our day-to-day routines, and how we're perceiving our lives on a day-to-day basis, our perspective of our lives on a day-to-day basis. Although it could bring up our day-to-day environment, but also our relationships with those close to us in life, whether it be our siblings, neighbors, extended family members, friends, and our just day-to-day social lives in general. And things that may be happening around this time that may be kind of showing us what kind of affects us on like a day-to-day basis, what kind of is What perspectives are we not seeing, or blind spots are we not seeing on a day-to-day basis in our lives and in our day-to-day routines and our day-to-day lifestyles? This is going to be a really beautiful new moon for like short trips, short travels, going on dates, doing charming romantic things in maybe a local area, or going on a short trip, you know, things like that. This Libra new moon and this just Libra energy coming up can feel very romantic and really help us integrate some of these, you know, blind spots that may be coming up, some of these triggers, these shadows that could be coming up and coming into our perspectives recently. Okay, so comment down below, my fellow Leo risings, sexy Leo rising, and let me know if any of that resonated with you. And if you missed the first half, you really just go back and watch it. It's maybe one of the most powerful videos I've ever done, so go back and watch that. Moving on to Virgo risings, last but not least, if you are a Virgo rising, this new moon is happening in your second house of income, finances, resources, and, you know, what you, like your needs, your priorities, you know, and this new moon happening here is kind of a new beginning of really harmonizing this area of your life, what you have, your resources, your priorities, what's important to you, what you depend on, you know, and some of that could be to do with other people and some of it may not, but either way you're seeing some other side, or you're seeing where you know, it's like a time of balancing this area out, compromising some things and balancing this area out so that it feels more truthful and more in alignment with you. Okay, so let me know down below, Virgo rising, if that resonated. And if you missed the first half, you are missing out on a lot. Like, that is where all the tea is. So go back and watch that. Comment down below, sexy Virgo rising. If you watched till here, I appreciate you. And we are going to go ahead and log off now. That is all that I have to say for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one.